Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Clark McCaskill, the Chief Administrative Officer for the Town of High Level. In accordance with Town Bylaw, I am assuming the chair of this meeting. I hereby call to order the October 25th, 2021 inaugural meeting of the Council of the Town of High Level. Our first order of business is the Returning Officer report. The Returning Officer for the Town of High Level, Sandra Beaton, will now provide that Returning Officer report for the 2021 General Municipal Election. Ms. Beaton, would you please provide the report on the election to the position of Mayor for the Town of High Level?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Chair. There was one candidate nominated for the office of Mayor. Crystal McAteer is elected by acclamation.
Thank you, Ms. Beaton. Ms. Beaton, would you please provide the report on the election to the position of Councillor for the Town of High Level?
Mr. Chair, there were 9 candidates nominated for the office of Councillor. The results are as follows. Josh Lambert, 359 votes, elected. Jan Welke, 300 votes, elected. Boyd Langford, 273 votes, elected. Terry Jessamine, 184 votes, elected. Brent Anderson, 204 votes, elected. Robin Dwyer, 174 votes, elected. Jamie Davies at 155 votes. Brian Wishak, 148 votes. Alan Forsyth, 71 votes. I just wanted to thank all the candidates for their participation in the election.
Thank you to all candidates. I would also like to thank Corporal Sam Holmes for administering our oaths of office tonight. I now call on Mayor-elect Crystal McAteer to step forward and take the oath of office for the position of Mayor for the Town of High Level.
I, Crystal McAteer, solemnly affirm that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability exercise, according to the law, the office of Mayor. Who's right here?
Thank you. Madam Mayor, congratulations on your election.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. I'll call upon the following councillors-elect to take their oath of office. First, Josh Lambert.
I, Josh Lambert, solemnly affirm that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability execute, according to law, the office of councillor. That's it? Wasn't sure if I was doing that.
Congratulations, Mr. Lambert, Town Council. Please take this.
I'll call upon Jan Welke.
I, Jan Welke, solemnly affirm that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability execute, according to law, the office of councillor.
Congratulations, Councillor Wilkie. Please join me.
Boyd Langford.
I, Boyd Langford, swear that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability execute according to law the office of councillor, so help me God.
Terry Jessamine.
I, Terry Jessamine, swear that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability, execute according to the law the office of counselor. So help me God.
Congratulations, Counselor Justin. Please join the council.
Brent Anderson.
I, Brandon Anderson, solemnly affirm that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability, execute according to the law the office of counselor.
Congratulations, Counselor Anderson. Please join the council.
Robin Dwyer.
I, Robin Dwyer, solemnly affirm that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability, execute according to law the office of counselor.
Congratulations, Counselor Dwyer. Please join the council.
So welcome all counselors and to the public. This is your council for the next 4 years. Our next order of business is to appoint a deputy mayor. So I will call for nominations for deputy mayor.
I'll nominate Lloyd Langford.
Boyd, do you accept?
Yes.
Second call for nominations.
I'll nominate Terry Justin.
Terry, do you accept?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. Third call for nominations. Seeing no other nominations, congratulations, Boyd.
Thank you.
This will set the order for acting mayor and a motion to confirm that. So normally we go by, and it's a 6-month period. The purpose of the acting mayor is if the deputy mayor or myself cannot be here for whatever reason, the acting mayor will take the seat. So we normally go by
2 6-month terms.
2 6-month terms and alphabetically, isn't it?
That is
Per
up to
year?
council.
Does council want to do that, or do you want to elect? So there will be a 2 6-month, so I'm assuming Councillor Anderson would do the first 6 months if you are available or want to, or,
That's fine.
okay? And Robin, you are Councillor Dwyer, sorry.
That's okay.
You will do the second. And then the following year, it would go to Terry Jessamine, Councillor Jessamine, and Councillor Lambert. And the following year to Councillor Welke, and then to Brent. So that's the order that we will follow if council agrees with that. Somebody could make that motion, please.
I'll make the motion.
Councillor Jessamine, all in favor? Carried. Seating, if you don't want to sit beside me, you can ask to change your seat if you want. And for purposes of distancing, Deputy Mayor Langford and Councillor Anderson will take seats there, and then we'll disperse a little bit wider. So if you want to do that right now, unless you want to change.
More room now.
Get away from me. Okay, so could I have a motion that this will be the order of seating, please?
I'll make that.
Councillor Welke, all in favor? Carried. The next order of business is council committees, and these are, you should have, it should have been sent to you, and there is all our internal committees first of all, and then our external committees. The first committee is the Airport Beautification Committee, and this committee provides recommendations to council regarding the short and long-term beautification options that are going on at the airport and the strategies that we're using to do that. There's nothing scrap up here. So the two that were sitting on here were myself and Councillor Jessamine. Councillor Jessamine, do you wish to remain on this committee?
I would like to, yes.
Okay. I would like to also, unless somebody else would like to take over. I'm seeing nobody. The Assessment Review Board, and this is a committee that is established in accordance with the MGA, which is our Municipal Government Act. And it's an impartial tribunal that hears formal complaints about assessments of properties, businesses, and local improvements. So you have to become certified, and our municipal secretary will advise you of the dates, and we recommend that all councillors at all possible, and this has been by Zoom or online, so it's a really easy to do on your own, but it's about a 2-day course, I believe. 4 for beginning, right?
For board members.
For board members.
Yep, because council would be board members.
Mhm.
I would be the clerk of the Assessment Review Board, which is a slightly shorter.
But those of us that have already been certified, we just take an update course, which is only a day, isn't it? 2 days? But it's online. And if you're really smart, you don't have to do it. You just take the test.
No, you have to have sat on 10 assessment review boards in the last year to do the self-study one.
Oh, really?
Just found that out,
How did you find that out?
because mine has been extended to the end of the year, and I asked about doing that, and when I went online to look and read up the self-study one, it said you have to have been a part of 10 in the previous 12 months, or provide a really good reason why you should be allowed to do it that way.
Because there were no assessments? Because mine must be up pretty soon as well. Anyways, if you don't, it's like 4 days. You'll never get back in your life. But it's a really easy test. So the Banner of Remembrance Committee is a committee that was established so that we could advise administration of the Banner program. And myself and Councillor Welke sat on this committee last year. Councillor Welke, are you wishing to remain?
I am. I had thought that you were the primary and I was the alternate, but
No, I was the alternate.
you were the alternate. Oh, okay. So I was to let you know if I couldn't make it.
Well, I came to every meeting. Like I can go to any of the meetings, so I mean, you know, if you want to continue.
I guess, and also just to point out, Councillor Dwyer is on that committee, and this I encountered as well before when I was on a committee. And so we can just leave it, because then they would have to replace your position as well, but Councillor Dwyer would still stay on as a
Is it-
public member?
Yeah, I mean, I would be happy to stay on as a public member.
No, it would be better if you went on as a counselor.
Then I could give up my position to Councillor Dwyer if she wishes.
Okay, yeah, I would like to stay on that committee in whatever capacity, so.
And I could give up my position to you if you would require.
To be an alternate?
Yes.
Yes, sure. Sounds
Okay, I'll just, this is very close to my heart, you just ripped my heart.
You offered it.
Luckily, you can attend all the meetings anyway, so.
And Councillor Dwyer, you were okay attending them generally all the time anyways? correct?
Yes, I was.
Okay, because I know I had a hard time with some of them, so maybe that situation is good.
I will remain as ex officio, so don't take me off the mailing list. The high school bursary committee, this is, council supports the bursary as a partner with NADC. And we normally look for people that want to take, you know, like administration, medical, education. These are the type of people that we want to come back to our community to take up positions in our community. So this is what we look for in their resumes. And myself, Councillor Morgan, and Councillor Welke are all part of this committee. Is there anybody, and this one is only meets once a year to read the resumes. Josh?
I would too, but that's fine, Josh wants to.
Okay. Councillor Welke?
I'm okay to stay on this one.
Okay. I can give up my seat to you, Councillor Anderson.
No, that's fine.
I've been on it a long time, it's good to have.
Sure.
Okay. So the next one is our high-level Denida partnership, and this was established through the CANDO and FCM, and it was to bring the First Nations and a community closer together for cooperation on regional programs. And Deputy Mayor and myself were both on this committee. Just to let you know, we were to sign our friendship agreement, and because of some deaths in the Denida communities, we put that off till spring, till May. So, Deputy Mayor, would you like to remain on this committee?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm not giving this one up. You'll have to fight me. Unless we have an election. So Deputy Mayor and I will remain on that. Intergovernmental negotiations, myself, Deputy Mayor, and Councillor Morgan were on this. And this was the governmental negotiations between us and the county, as well as I'm looking forward to having negotiations between us and the Derrida and hopefully Paddle Prairie at some point. So right now, I think we've settled with the county, so we won't be having any negotiations there.
Yeah, the agreements right now are just being reviewed administratively, and we hope they'll be ready to sign within a few weeks.
So this will be an as-needed committee. So I would like to stay on this one, Deputy Mayor.
Yes.
Okay, so we're looking for a third councillor. Councillor Lambert? Anybody else? Okay, welcome to the committee. The Intermunicipal Planning Commission. The Intermunicipal Planning Commission probably has the shortest meetings in the history of meetings ever. I think 2 minutes is their record. And these people approve all development and subdivision applications within our IDP area. And this is along with Mckenzie County. The sitting ones were Councillor Morgan and Councillor Anderson. Councillor Anderson, do you wish to remain?
Yes.
Okay. Does somebody want to take up that committee?
I would like to.
Okay. Anybody else?
You're gonna get burned out before we can get to the end of the list.
You're getting a new baby, you know.
I went through them already.
Okay, so the next one is the Intermunicipal Subdivision and Development Appeal Board. And once again, we have to be, you have to be certified to do this, and you have to take a course, and I think the course is 4 days again. 4, I think. Did you take it last year?
2 years ago.
2 years ago, so you'll be up for certification. Is there anybody else wanting to take that certification? Deputy Mayor?
Ms. Beaton is looking at my renewal.
Okay,
That expired this month, I believe, or last month.
okay.
How about our 2 public members that are expiring, are they?
Well, we will do them next, after the November.
We're working with our public members to get their certification.
Okay.
So maybe find some dates, Miss Beaton, and if I have to, I'll take it. Unless Councillor Anderson would like to.
Give me 4 months, and then I'll,
Well, it probably won't be till spring, right? Nor are they usually in the winter?
They're generally as needed, but we haven't had a call for a intermunicipal subdivision. Occasionally, if we have trained councillors from other municipalities, they'll get pulled into another municipality to assist.
Mhm.
But and the town itself we haven't had one in that region for quite some time.
Okay, well, just bring us some dates and maybe Councillor Anderson or whomever wants to get trained in there. So the Northwestern Alberta Regional Emergency Advisory Committee is established to guide the creation and implementation of the Northwest Regional Emergency. Did I skip one? Oh, sorry. Oh, I skipped right over them all. Okay, so that we've added a new one, which is a task force, because we had a movie filmed here, and we hopefully won't have a tragedy like what happened south of the border. But we are looking at setting up some guidelines for filming movies here. So administration is recommending the formation of a task force. And this task force would recommend to council regulations and incentives for the film industry to work here. Are we looking for 2?
Administration's recommending that we put 2 councillors on it, and then we'll look for some members at large and bring back a terms of reference to council.
Okay. So is there anybody on council? Councillor Welke? Councillor Dwyer? Okay. I will sit there as your guidance. No, I'm just kidding.
As the real celebrity.
No, I just want to sit there just to see what.
Very exciting.
Yes. So the naming rights and sponsorship task force, myself and Councillor Morgan sat on there, and this task force was created to coordinate sponsorship and naming strategies for the multi-purpose facility that we are proposing for our community. And myself and Councillor Morgan, so I'd like to stay on this committee if someone else would like to take council. Okay, Councillor Jessamine. Okay, and this is as needed, and we haven't had one for a while. The Town of High Level Municipal Emergency Advisory Committee.
back up one.
What?
Back up one.
I did that one.
Subdivision and development.
I did that one.
You did the intermunicipal.
Oh, I did, sorry. Subdivision and Development Appeal Board. This is what, here's the appeals on the subdivisions, and once again, you can get pulled into Mckenzie counties or Rainbow's subdivision appeal boards. I think we've done some in Mckenzie County, I'm not sure. So Deputy Mayor, you're on that one, you're gonna stay.
Yes, I'll look at recertifying.
Councillor Jessamine,
Sure.
okay. This one is as needed.
And again, we'll share our training with the council, or any councilors who might be interested.
The Town of High Level Municipal Emergency Advisory Committee, myself, Councillor Jessamine, and Councillor Anderson sat on them. And this is the committee that has the authority to declare a state of emergency and make sure that emergency plans and programs are prepared in cases of disaster. Do you two still want to sit on there?
Sure, I'm fine with that.
Yes.
Anybody else? Okay. Northwest Alberta Regions, this is a mouthful, Regional Emergency Advisory Committee was established to guide the creation and evaluation of the Northwest Alberta Regional Emergency Plans. Councillor Jessamine and Councillor Anderson are on there.
So this is an extension of our municipal plan, joining up with other municipalities and First Nations in the area.
So this would actually be a SETI initiative?
Well, we are currently, we're extending the SETI initiative with the Denetaw, and we've invited both the Town of Rainbow Lake and the Paddle Prairie Métis Settlement to join, and they've both shown some interest.
Yes?
This committee's also built by bylaw with Mckenzie, the Mckenzie County Regional Emergency Management Bylaw, and that's the county in Rainbow Lake.
I was gonna see if somebody would also be interested in it.
Have you, how many meetings did you
I've
have?
only been to one.
I haven't been.
How many meetings have you had, Rodney?
We tend to do one annually, but we haven't with the county in the last year.
Okay.
Is this kind of a real extension, or goes kind of part and parcel with the previous committee though? Like if they're different enough that you could have different representation?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anybody want to sit on there?
No one else is, I'll put my name in.
Okay. Councillor Anderson, you're okay to sit there?
Well, I haven't been to any meeting at all, so, other than kind of being in the dark, that's fine.
Being in the dark?
Well, I mean, I haven't seen anything on it, so. it's-
CAO?
There has not been a meeting of this committee since the last tri-council meeting, which is just after the fire, if I'm not mistaken.
So,
There's some work to be done.
So these usually preceded the tri-council meetings,
okay. Okay,
but it's been a while since those have been held.
okay. Okay, so if Councillor Anderson doesn't want to sit there, I'll sit there. Do you want to?
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Sorry, Madam Mayor, I might have missed it. Did Councillor Dwyer express interest in that?
Yes, Councillor Jessamine is. So Boreal Housing, this is our nonprofit management body that serves the housing options for seniors. And as we are in transition, I would like to sit on this committee to see the transition through, unless anybody else wants it.
I was interested, but I mean, if you want to see the transition through,
Yeah, we have a lot of work to do yet, and it's contingent on a lot of things that we've already done. So, next year.
Sounds good.
Is that a fight you for it kind of one?
Yes.
Yeah. No, I'm happy for your worship to carry it on.
Community Futures Northwest. This is, Community Futures encourages residents, gives grants to, is it grants or loans? Loans, I guess. It's a secret committee that you don't get any information from. Or it could be in camera, I suppose, but.
Or
But
when the big triple RF loans came up too, that was newsworthy.
Yeah. So does, I sit there as an alternate. Jan, do you want to continue as the?
I'm happy to stay on this committee.
I am an alternate, but I get all the emails and everything.
It's been all via email and e-votes, and there hasn't been an in-person meeting in quite some time. So.
I think the part that Community Futures does not understand is the alternate does not vote. Because he's always looking for me to vote, and I've tried to tell him numerous times that.
Yeah,
So
maybe like if the meetings are if it's gonna continue to be so virtual, that maybe that should all be tidied up in terms of the communications, yeah. Yep.
Does somebody want to sit on this as an alternate? You won't learn anything unless you read all the reports. Okay, I'll continue as an alternate. The Golden Range Society, this is our next door neighbors over here, the seniors, and they're interested in their, like getting their building up and open to the public again. I believe they are now open afternoons, and they have a meeting once a month, and I am the person on there, and the alternate is Councillor Anderson. Councillor Anderson,
I will stay there.
do you want to take the position and I'll be your alternate, or?
Well, yeah, that'll work. I'm usually there anyway.
Okay. Yeah, Wednesdays are a rough day for me.
Okay.
I have a lot of meetings that day. So I'll be your alternate. And just a note to council and new councillors and former councillors, if you cannot make a meeting, please call your alternate. Lots of times the council member doesn't show up, but there's no alternate there either. And these committees are very important to the people that ask us to sit on them, so we need to all recognize that. High-level district chamber and commerce to promote economic and social well-being for our community. Councillor Anderson, you were the.
I would stay there, but I would prefer to go as an alternate. Those are the ones that I'm struggling to kind of get to, so.
Well, I don't think you would know more, Josh. Have you had many meetings?
Not in the past few months, but I was going to suggest if I could go on as first, and then if Brent wanted to go on, or Councillor Addison wanted to go on as the alternate.
Would that work?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll. And I'm okay to not be on it. If you were wondering.
Okay. High-level Forest Public Advisory, we have Deputy Mayor and Councillor Morgan, and this was to gain constructive input from the public and from council and whomever involved in forest management. Deputy Mayor, do you wish to remain on?
Yes, I'd like to.
Okay. And Councillor Morgan has left us. Would anybody be interested in assuming this position? Councillor Jesselman? Okay. The high-level library board. This board makes decisions about how the library is run. Oh, high-level policing, sorry. I'm glad you're there because Mike's gone.
Fulfill that role.
The high-level policing system, I need my pens and somebody's absconded.
There's a whole bunch here.
The High Level Policing Society, Councillor Jessamine and Councillor Anderson. And the purpose of this committee was to liaise with the High Level RCMP detachment and to deliver programming for victim services, domestic violence, etc. Councillor Jessamine, do you wish to remain?
Yes.
The alternate was Councillor Anderson. Do you wish to remain?
I can stay on it, yeah, I don't see why not.
Okay.
I'll have to get to a meeting so I know what's going on.
Yeah, I chair the board, so it would be tough.
To lead.
I'm there pretty well every meeting.
The Municipal Library Board, Councillor Morgan and Councillor Anderson were the two councillors. Does anybody wish to sit on that board?
I'll stay there.
Okay. Would somebody like to go in the other position? Don't everybody speak at once.
Be a conflict when voting chairs now.
That's a good, so it's a Wednesday once again, so.
Councillor Morgan was on a lot of committees.
Yeah. Okay, we will leave that one for now. The High Level Transportation Society oversees the operation of the handy van.
Yeah, I'll stay there.
Okay. Somebody want to go as the alternate?
I'll go as the alternate.
Okay.
Those meetings are usually at noon
Mm-hmm.
from 12 till 1.
Okay.
Mckenzie Frontier Tourism Association, its mandate was to support and grow tourism in our area and provide strategic leadership. Myself and Councillor Morgan were on this. I will stay if somebody wants to take Councillor Morgan's position.
Well,
Okay.
I'd be interested in that.
Okay, so myself and Councillor Welke. Is this a committee that we need to still have?
Madam Mayor, if you wanted to leave this, we can communicate with the Northwest Health Foundation. Odds are this is going to be next spring at the very earliest, of course, and if they still want municipal representation, they can reach out to the council at that time.
Okay. So who wants to sit on that committee? The Mckenzie Charity Golf Committee. I thought you were on there.
I thought I was too, but.
I haven't been on there for like years.
I think it was myself and Councillor Morgan.
Yeah. So do you want to stay on there?
Sure, if they're gonna have a tournament.
Okay. Anybody else want to sit on there?
I will.
Okay. Mckenzie Regional Waste Management, this governs the recycling. Deputy Mayor and Councillor Langford were on there.
Councillor Morgan is being.
Councillor Morgan is gone. This committee meets on a Saturday. I will go on there if nobody else wants it.
Madam Mayor, I would actually be interested in that position.
Deputy Mayor, are you?
I'm the new kid on the block for there. There's been quite a few changes, so I wouldn't mind staying, but if you'd rather.
No. So Robin, you want to sit on there?
Yes, I would.
Okay.
Recycling was one of my big pushes to get elected, so.
The first meeting's Wednesday.
Okay.
Wednesday? Oh, I thought you had them on Saturdays.
They've all been either by phone or by Microsoft Teams. But to follow the org meetings, they need to appoint the executive and get signing authorities done. So I think it's Wednesday at 5:30. And will be electronic.
Okay, Northern elected leaders, myself and Deputy Mayor sit on there. And it's a venue for municipal leaders to share current practices and collaborate, and it's been over Zoom for the last year and it hasn't been near as effective. What do you think?
The last one was supposed to be in person and we were supposed to meet with Alberta Council, but obviously that didn't happen with the recent changes that the province introduced at that time.
Yeah, it was much more effective when it was in person. It seems like a rush to get the meeting over by. All right, so Deputy Mayor and I will continue to sit on there. Northern Lakes College. I wasn't on this committee.
Neither was I think this was Councilor Welke.
Yeah, myself and Councilor Morgan.
They kicked me off of that like 5 years ago.
I'd be happy to stay on. I think I was the alternate and Councilor Morgan was, but I'll take that one on.
Okay. Does anybody else want to sit on there? So Northern Lakes, it's to ensure that local residents have access to what's trending in our neighborhood usually. I don't know if you had many meetings.
Not a lot, and Councilor Morgan hijacked that position from me when he became chair. No, and I was the lead and he was the alternate, and he became chair. So it was probably best that he just attend most of the meetings. So I'd have to get kind of caught back up, but it was interesting. It's informative. So.
Okay. Does somebody want to be the alternate then?
Sure.
Okay. The Northwest Species at Risk, I sit on there and I will continue to sit on there as long as that committee exists. Councillor Morgan is no longer with us. If somebody would like to sit on that committee and find out what it's all about. Councillor Jessamine? Would you?
No, sorry.
I'll sit on that.
Okay. The FASD Society is agency for information supports and services for the entire Mckenzie region. Councillor Welke is the representative on that board, and I am the alternate. Does anybody want to change that?
I'll stay.
Anybody else? I'll stay then as well. Peace Library sort of goes hand in hand with the library systems. Councillor Anderson, do you wish to remain on that board?
I'll remain on it. Everything so far in the last year and a half has been virtual. They are Saturdays and they do drag out, but I'll stay.
Okay. Does somebody want to be the alternate on this committee? I'm looking at the new councillors because we've all had our turn. I'll be coming back to you. Ready? It's the initiative for Northwestern Alberta, and it exists to promote enhanced economic growth in our region. And we're actively looking for trade corridors through our region, etc. I sit on that committee along with Deputy Mayor Langford. I wish to remain on this committee. Deputy Mayor?
I will, unless someone else would like to sit on there.
Anybody else wish to sit on there? We do need an alternate as well. Nobody?
I will go on as alternate.
Okay. Josh will go on as alternate. And the Water North Coalition is Keith's commission. It's to ensure that communities collaborate and that we have sustainable water systems available in our northern communities. You've all seen what's happened to Iqaluit. We need to make sure that that doesn't happen to us. And this is a very good committee, but I'm sorry to say as the mayor on this committee, I haven't attended any meetings in the last year, but Keith's been attending them all.
So, Madam Mayor, the committee is meeting in the end of January via Zoom. It's been kind of hard to, and that's our strategic planning meeting, so we'll be setting forth the goals moving forward. Originally, the Water North Coalition sat as a division underneath MADC, and we've gone on our own. I sit on the executive and the planning commission. And I also represent the Water North Coalition on the Alberta Provincial Certification Advisory Committee. So the intent is to have 2 meetings a year in a community somewhere in the north of Manning. We've gone out to Cold Lake. So that's typically how it runs, 2 meetings a year, it's elected officials, and we try to get to neighboring and partnering hosting communities. So the big meeting will be in January to set the strategic plan going forward. And there seems to be a lot of advocacy things we're going to be bringing forward, so we can advocate on behalf of the north to the province and a variety of different boards.
I will continue to sit on that committee, but I think we need, instead of an alternate, another person to attend. So if there's another person that would like to sit on that committee in our council, it is actually very good information. And the problem with it before was everything was always in Cold Lake or Lac La Biche, or it was very difficult to get to.
Sad to say Bob wasn't re-elected, so we won't be able to Cold Lake for a while. But we have gone to Slave Lake, High Prairie, Grand Prairie, so the Cold Lake ones are always tough. It's like an hour trip, but High Level could host it in the future too.
Yes. So is there somebody that would like, Councillor Jessamine? Okay. So that concludes our committee list, I believe.
There's one alternate position that wasn't taken, I think.
That was the library one,
Both libraries.
I can take the library, the local library board one, if there's no one else.
Okay. Did you get that?
Sorry?
Councillor Dwyer will take the high level library position.
Is that the position or the alternate?
No, that's a position.
That's the position?
Both
Okay.
position.
There's 2 listed.
Okay.
So you will get a letter.
Okay.
Municipal Secretary Sandra Beaton will send a letter to each one of your committees to let you know that you are the member on that committee, and you will get a letter to tell you when the meetings are.
Madam Mayor, can we get a motion to ratify those?
So once again, I cannot emphasize how important it is to attend your meetings. We've had in the past when we've had to remove members because they aren't attending meetings and bringing information back to council. So it's very important to the people that put you on those committees or that ask for a councillor sitting on them. So we have to make sure that we do our very best to get there. And of course, call your alternate if you cannot make it before the night before, unless you're really sick. So I will entertain a motion to accept all people on these committees.
I'll make that one.
Councillor Anderson, all in favor? Carried. The council meeting agenda is in your package.
Madam Mayor, the calendar that's put forth follows the same calendar that the previous council followed, which is regular meetings generally on the second and fourth Monday, and a committee of the whole on the third. There is some movement on that because of statutory holidays.
So this is the calendar that you will follow?
If council so chooses, yes.
If we so choose, we could change it to Saturdays or Wednesdays. Monday's such an awful day to have council meetings, right? How is council with that? Are you good with this calendar? Could I have a motion to adopt the calendar?
I'll make that motion.
Councillor Welke, all in favor? Carried. Were you going to bring up the dates of the when Gwendolyn will be here to talk to council and
It's
AU
on,
and
it's on the agenda now.
it's on the agenda after?
No, no, item B3 is the council organization.
Oh, sorry, okay.
Madam Mayor, just for council's information, Ms. Beedon will put out invitations for all of those council dates. So be prepared to have a whole bunch hit your calendars for within the next week.
Okay, so, who moved them? Council? All in favor of the council dates? Carried. So AUMA is November 16th. The travel date is November 16th, and the conference is the 17th to the 19th.
Madam Mayor, in addition to that, the AUMA has put out 2 pre-conference sessions on the Monday the 15th and Tuesday the 16th. However, they are not currently available virtually. They have to be attended in person. One of them is their Meeting 101, which is an introduction for new councillors. Actually, that's what both of those days are. However, they are looking at scheduling that for Grand Prairie in the future.
Which one is it?
Meeting 101.
So, this conference is our annual big conference. There's lots of things you can learn there. The Muni 101 is one that you should take as a new councillor or never been there councillor. You were there. You took it.
Yeah.
I don't.
But we may be able to find alternate dates for Meeting 101s.
So, when would you want to know by who is going?
So we have booked all 7 of you into the AUMA, and we booked hotel rooms for the nights the 16th through the 18th, checking out on the 19th. So if you don't need them, or you can't attend the conference, we'd like to know as soon as possible.
I will not be.
Okay, thank you. And if you wanted to attend the pre-sessions, we may not be able to get you into the same hotel, but we can definitely find you a hotel in the area.
So it's at the Westin, right?
Yeah, that one's at the west.
So, please let Sandra know as soon as you know whether you can go or not. I won't need a room because I'm staying at the Matrix.
I have 7 rooms in my name, so I've been.
You know, there probably isn't any more rooms for the
I
conference.
like it
so
because I don't make requests.
So sorry, just to confirm,
Matrix is better.
Clark, so the Muni 101, what dates are those again?
So that begins at noon on Monday, November 15th,
Okay,
and ends at 3:30 on Tuesday, September 16th, and then the main conference begins at 8 a.m. on the 17th. So if you did want to go down and travel for that, we'll get you rooms on the Monday and Tuesday. We already have rooms for you on the Wednesday and Thursdays. Or actually, we probably have rooms for you on the Tuesday, Sunday and Monday rather.
No, you didn't. No. Because it wasn't offered up here.
Leave across the world.
No, it's offered as a pre at AUMA, but it's also offered as a course. Like I took it in Manning, but I don't know where it's gonna be.
Thrown in here. Thrown in here blind.
If we can find any alternate dates, we'll get those out to you as soon as possible, so that
Community 101 is now mandatory, I believe.
Yeah.
Are you going to AUMA?
I'm going to give it my best shot. I think so. I have to double check, but it's a staffing issue too, but I think I can.
Sounds like you're going to AUMA is like my going to AUMA. We're gonna try our best to get there.
Well, yeah, it's,
Well, you gotta make sure and let Sandra know
Yeah,
because we pay for these rooms
I'll let
if
her know right
we
away.
don't use them.
Yep.
And you can either drive or fly.
Yeah.
So, and we're having a council orientation. Our municipal lawyer will be coming up on November 11th. And all council is requested to be there. She will be here from 6 to 9 on the 11th and then 9 to 12 noon on the 12th.
Madam Mayor, it's our intention on the evening of the 11th, we realize that is a statutory holiday, but it's a matter of finding time for everybody. That session will just be with council and myself, and then we will invite the department heads to the Friday morning session.
He wants double time. Triple because he's government.
That's right, I got policy.
And then the council budget review and planning will be November 26th to the 27th.
So for council's information, our last regular council meeting of the calendar year is December the 12th. So we work back from that date because we require an interim budget on that date. Council's already done some review and planning. That information will be available to you in your orientation binders. This will likely be a Friday night, morning, early afternoon, like I'm thinking 4 or 5 hours on Saturday type thing. Then it'll give you the opportunity to go through the budget in some detail and ask questions of the department heads. And also, if you have some projects that you'd like us to start work on, we can also do that.
So, just an FYI for those of you that would really like to go to AUMA but can't make it, they are having a virtual, if you would like to do that, Brent, like, if you have nothing better to do.
Yeah.
But you can let Sandra know so that she can sign you up virtually. It's actually quite good virtually. All right. So is there anything else?
No, Madam Mayor, we'd like the council to stay afterwards. We can take some photos if you would like. And also we have your Commissioner Oath stamps and just walk you through some of the paperwork that we require.
Okay.
Binders, lots of presents, yeah.
So I'd like to thank all the public for joining us for our orientation, our swearing-in ceremony. This will end our organizational meeting for this year, so have a good evening.